Hi guys, TCG/Addict here to discuss very briefly the new promotion that I'm running on the eBay store, TCG/Addict. And I will not, as a disclaimer, be getting rid of the existing promotion. You can find it in the description. It's essentially a spreadsheet that you can choose a card from with every order, even if it's $1. Now, there's a lot of bulk on there, obviously, and the idea is that you get to choose. Maybe you can complete a deck or you can complete a collection. That's why I give it to you. It's only about half filled out, though. I'm not going to get rid of it, but I think I want to up my promotion game a little bit. And the reason I'm making a video is because I haven't fully figured it out. It's in the works, but those first few people who order from me, first of all, if you've already ordered from me, you're eligible for this promo. I'm thinking about you from Argentina, my good friend, and YCC Comics from the UK in particular. Of the couple people who've ordered from me, you guys, you still can take part in this. The idea with this one is that essentially you get random cards with your order. And I think there's a way this can benefit both of us. As a bit of background, it's tough. It's tough to break into eBay in a big way. I think there's two reasons for that. One, a lack of trust. I'm a new seller. And, will you get your item shipped okay in a timely fashion? Will the condition be as described? I understand that. I have hardly any feedback. Why would you trust me? The second reason is because of, I think, barriers, international, sending to the EU and the US, where I anticipate I'll do most of my business. And I have blocks for other countries, though you're still eligible. Reach out to me if you're from places like Argentina. I can make allowances, but the point is it's expensive for you guys to buy from me, tax, shipping, etc. So I thought, well, what if this promo, and it's basically like the other one, I insert cards at random of a pretty good value. I can guarantee value, all right? And how do I do that? Well, first of all, I haven't figured out the random mechanism yet. I mean, I could just roll one of these D20s. I could even make a video of me doing that. But, would you trust it? It's up to you. Maybe there's an online solution we can find. You can just reach out to me what you're comfortable with. However, this is how I think you can trust me. I would love it, and this would be a win-win for me, if you could, in your feedback, of course, please write feedback. I need it. If you wrote what card you got, right, as a random insert, maybe what you bought and what you got, just so other people know. And I don't want to screw anybody over. I actually think there's a way that we can do this as a win-win scenario. And that is two types of cards that I think I'll focus on for giveaways. The first type, picked up the wrong pack here, they belong to sets where I don't intend on buying a lot more product. Either the economics aren't great or whatever. And for that reason, I have odds and ends, right? I don't have a lot of Modern Horizons 2, but here's a good rare, here's a great uncommon from that set. I'm never going to have play sets of Tireless Provisioner, so, why not give these away? If I'm not going to restock them, they have some value. This is like $1.50, it's like $2. Here's from Crimson Vow. It's only like $1 card. From Ixalan, from Ikoria, from Core, 2021. Here's like a foil full art. I have a couple full art lands. Basri Ket's only worth about $1. They are listed on the store, but they're still fair game for this thing that I'm thinking of. And if you guys have any that you want to propose, I'm all ears. It's obviously going to depend on the value of your order. And here is something I should have started with, and I'm going to explain right now. I don't plan on just winning market share through pricing. I don't think that's fair to existing sellers. I don't want local sellers to think it's just, I'm not going to sell a Bosaju for $10, right? I think all my prices are fair. They're all below what they're selling for in TCG Player. Obviously, there's Card Market here in Europe. Not all my prices are the lowest, right, of what Card Market has to offer, but, there's that race to the bottom feature there, but also those averages, they take into account non-English cards, and let's face it, English cards do have a premium, and different conditions. And all my cards are pack fresh. They may not all be mint. There's some factory nicking sometimes, but they're all pack fresh. So the point is, how else can I pad? One way, like I said, some of these cards that have a couple bucks in value. Second, it's odd list cards. Now, before I go into these, I just want to say, what's the win-win here? There are some cards, like some of these list cards, or some of these like showcase variants of cards that have a high dollar value, but I anticipate will take a while for me to sell, especially because I come from a pretty small market. International is not a big part of my sales, and I'm outside of the EU, like I said. it's slow. You know, if you have access to TCG Player, you can probably flip some of these. You know, like here's a foil showcase Thought Scour. It's just a common from DX, you know, Double Masters, but it's worth, I think, over $1. I have to double check. You know, the other variant isn't worth much. I don't know how I'm going to sell this. You know, the people just want playable copies, most likely. These are just all showcase, you know, commons here. Not worth a ton. It does bump up if you go to the uncommons, though. You know, here is a, man, I really, even these, I don't want to mess up the conditions, so bear with me for a second. You know, here's this Flicker Wisp. You know, here, by the way, too, same thing applies. Path to Exile, great. Eternal Witness, great. Blood Artist, great cards, but I only have maybe 1 copy of each. Devoted Druid, maybe 2, because I don't plan on opening more. The second type of card I'm thinking about, you know, it's like this Mole Drifter here, right? So foil, you know, the foil variants are worth some money, but I don't, you know, I'd throw them into this. I don't see how I'm going to sell those a lot. Inquisition of Kozilek, also great. Rancor, great card. Lightning Bolts, maybe those can sell. Here is another class of these cards, and this is why I know I'm going to be able to guarantee value, because these cards are worth something, right? This Boros Garrison, full art foil, same thing, Rakdos Carnarium, right? And then these guys too have more value than the normal variants. You can look it up, TCG Player and MTG Stocks. So again, I just don't think they're going to sell that fast. I could be wrong, but this is the gamble I'm willing to take. So even if you buy a $1 card from me, you know, I'm going to do that later without risking damaging it. I don't know why it's sticking to the table. These perfect fits, they're a nuisance. I just feel like I'd rather use these as promos to guarantee value, and it would be randomized, right? Unless you see something here you want in particular, you can request, like I have that list. These are cards, you know, some good Planeswalkers, this one maybe not so much, from War of the Spark and Ravnica Allegiance. These are the guys that come with the decks. They're pretty good though, foil mythics. You know, stuff like that I could throw in. You know, Narset has a fairly good dollar value. This is just some examples, you know, sort of these foil variants of very playable cards. Both of these are this one too, very playable uncommons. But, you know, again, I'm not going to build a playset. I'm going to have playsets of the regular versions, but not that. And then we have like really good list cards. And maybe these sell, maybe not. But for me, this is the kind of thing I'm thinking about. Right? Unless you guys disagree, and you can say that. If you don't say anything and you say, hey, I saw the video and I want to participate in the promo, chances are you're going to get a card like this. You know, all of these are worth a couple bucks. All of these cards are worth a couple bucks. This is maybe only worth $1 and then the value disappears there. But, you know, that's all stuff that I've been thinking about in terms of giveaways. The last thing, I'll go through some Double Masters stuff before I get to the big guns. You know, so here you go, Shadowborn Apostle foil variant. You know, good cards, right? And then here we have some good, you know, mythics. This one probably I will sell, right? But some of these, even if they are listed on eBay, even if you do see them, these are exactly the kind of cards I'm thinking about. If you order a $1 card from me, you can request these, or maybe I throw them in with your order. Okay, quality's falling as we go, but there was one more in here. I think it's a foil Grand Arbiter Augustine. Here it is. You know, very good card, but maybe you buy a $10 card from me. This could be the card in your pack. Anyways, that, you know, inserted. That's kind of what I'm thinking about for the promo. And then let me just get to the big guns here at the end. And this is maybe also an indication of where things could go in the future. So the only other item I want to talk about, these are the big guns. Let's say you make a big order from me, right? There's a couple different types here. First of all, this could be a trend that I start, maybe a chance at something like a Zendikar Rising Expedition box topper. I hate to open these, and that's because I just don't like the gamble, right? I don't like the idea that it could be either a $5 card or a $70 card. I like the idea of opening sets where there's kind of a guaranteed expected value. For me, it's too much of a risk, but this could be a good giveaway. Obviously, on the higher end of your order, and only in the case, you can't just request this. You can't order a $50 card and then request something that's ostensibly $35, right? But then there's other stuff, right? Spark Double. This is a $10 card, the best one in War of the Sparks, one of the best rares in War of the Sparks, but it's just not worth anything in Europe. I mean, not comparatively, maybe $5, about half. So this could be something if you're from the US, right? I would probably stuff something like this in your pack as a chance, right? This would be on the die that I roll, one of the cards. Great card, but something I was thinking about. And then, you know, we can get to some of the higher end stuff. This Guardian project's awesome. It's from a time when foil multipliers still existed to a certain degree. So the foil's worth almost twice as much. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be able to sell the foil for twice as much. So this would be another example of padding value, right? Instead of hitting the ding, ding, ding and getting a $10 card, I could give you something worth 18 bucks, 20 bucks, but it might sell slowly, right? So for me, it has less value, but if you're just a collector, it has more value. Crucible of Worlds, I don't necessarily know why it's in here. I know why it's in here because it's from Core 2019 and I'm not opening more. So this is like a mythic from a set that I'm not going to have a restock of. So these would be sort of high end with the box topper. And I'll probably make my thumbnail this, but this is the spirit of what I want to get to, which is eventually when you order from me, especially making big orders, maybe I can offset some of those, you know, shipping or taxes or whatever you have with an insert. And if it's randomized, the value will be higher. If you want to choose from a list, that's completely fair too. Please do. You know, there's also like, here are some, for example, some cards from Kaldheim, all of which are pretty good, right? This is, first of all, last one. This is like the last example of a card I would stuff in there, you know, especially with a lower value order or put in the randomizer. The reason for that is because this is like a 20-cent card. This is like $1.50, $1.60. But I just don't know if in today's market, people are going to buy a foil multiplier, you know, of almost 10 times. So guaranteed value to a certain degree for you, especially if you're not going to sell it, and a way for me to kind of pad there. Blood on the Snow, great card. These would be things you could target specifically. Doomscar, right? Some of these are very playable cards, and that's the idea of my spreadsheet. So you can still do that. You can still just go to the spreadsheet, find a card that you like, select it, and then, you know, finish off your set. And then alternatively, you know, come here and say, hey, give me something random, and you might get, you know, I have a bunch of, for example, like some foil Snowlands. Let me see where. Yeah, here we go. You know, so like I have a couple of different snow-covered foils. You know, I have full art foils from other sets too. So you could, maybe I could throw some of those in there. You can even request just full art land, spin, you know, something like that, and I can randomize them that way. But, you know, I think this could be a win-win. Sorry the video's so long. You know, I'm not going to edit it. I'll probably just edit it and throw it up like this. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any other ideas of how the promo should go, as my first few sellers, or buyers rather, let's just say I'll give you a pretty big say in the promo. I want to make sure that there's added value to your order. Most people probably won't even see this, so they won't even ask for it. But if you do watch this, let's figure out a way that, you know, we can both win, and I can add some additional value to your order without just undercutting everybody on price for the listing that you're looking at. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. I hope we can build a long and fruitful relationship here in terms of TCG trading and selling. And thank you guys so much for your time.